Lauren Zhang, who just went up, everybody. It was fantastic. We're going to give it straight to our next comedian, our first comedian, Mr. A tried and true enterprise of this club who missed the outdoor show. So I'm happy he's kicking us back off. Please give it up for Jotham, Herzon, everybody.
I can't believe I have to fucking follow Tom Cruise. And I don't have anything quite as amazing as that. How are you all doing tonight? Welcome to the JK Comedy Club. I brought some material that I just wrote. Will it be good? Probably not. But we'll try. And then of course I put my water on it so it's all smudged so I can't read my own notes. I'm going to talk about, what do you all want to talk about?
Olympics.
No. So, we can talk about the Olympics, but I think that Keaton Thompson and Kevin Hart did a fine job. I don't need to follow that either. Let's talk about, instead, the eclipse. Did anybody go to the eclipse? Did anybody see it?
Yeah.
I went to the eclipse. It was amazing. We had April 8th, a total solar eclipse in America. Covered 15 states. 30 million people were in the path of the totality. An additional 30 million people traveled to see it. I was one of those. And I'd always wanted to see an eclipse, so I decided that I was going to take myself and my family and we're going to go check it out. What's the most important thing to remember with a solar eclipse? Yeah, no look in the sun. That's right. Don't look in the sun. Hydrate. That's the second most important thing. But the first most important thing, don't look directly in the sun. And, I was taking myself, my wife, and my 2 kids, and we booked this trip like 9 months ahead of time. And I was like, what are we going to remember not to do? Not look in the sun. They were getting a little tired of me. But I made sure I was going to, get that lesson into everybody's head to not look in the sun. I even made up a little mnemonic to teach my children. It goes like this: don't look into the sun, it won't be any fun. Your eyes will be done. James Gunn. I couldn't think of a third, fourth rhyme, and I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy, so it just worked out. So I got some, we're getting ready to go, and I got some eclipse glasses, bought a bunch off of Amazon. What's interesting is, when you go on Amazon, how much of the stuff is sort of that counterfeit, Alibaba, like you get something and you don't know whether it's high quality or just some counterfeit thing, which is fine if you're getting like a potato peeler. And you're like, oh, this was a crappy counterfeit potato peeler. But if you're looking for eclipse glasses, it's probably not such a good thing. So I finally managed to find some good ones. There were 4 of us, so I got 36 pair. Just in case each of us lost 8 pairs of glasses, we would have an extra, just in case. But we got our glasses, we were prepared. We flew to Indianapolis, Indiana to see the eclipse. And it was kind of funny being there because they were setting it up. They had like the National Guard. It was like emergency preparedness. They were expecting so many people to be there, and they forgot that it's the whole United States. And they were like expecting huge amounts of traffic to go to the little parks when all you have to do to see an eclipse is sort of just walk out your front door and look up and you see it. But we got to the park to see the eclipse. We were there with like 500 other people. And the interesting thing about an eclipse is there's several phases to it. The first phase is first contact, when the moon first hits the sun, and then it goes to totality when the moon completely covers the sun. What they don't tell you is, it hits first contact and everybody in the park was like cheering and super excited and really enthusiastic about the eclipse and how it had started. But there's an hour and a half until the actual eclipse, until it covers the sun. So it's like one of those awkward, things with one of your acquaintances when you see each other, and you're like, oh, it's nice seeing you, and then you both walk away in the same direction, and then you have to have an awkward conversation. Yeah, it was like a bunch of people that you barely know. You're like, wait, Eclipse! In an hour and a half. Yay! Let's play Monopoly. But we were all there, we were all ready. I got, the glasses for everybody, we were all prepared. There was first contact, everybody was ready to check it out. And it was about 35 seconds before I looked directly into the sun. I mean, I had my glasses on, I don't know what happened exactly, but I think what it was, I was looking at the eclipse with my glasses, and for some reason, instead of looking away, I thought the way you stop looking at the sun is just to take your eclipse glasses off. And so I looked directly into the sun. And I was completely blinded. And, I had my eclipse glasses. And my wife was very nice. She saw it happen. She's like, oh, did you look in the sun? And I was like, yes. And I wanted to Google whether or not, I was going to be blind and miss the eclipse, but I couldn't Google it because I was completely blind. I only had peripheral vision, so she was nice enough to Google it for me, and it turns out it's fine. It's fine. You won't be able to see for a couple minutes, and then you'll be okay. And so after a couple minutes, I was fine, and went back to seeing the eclipse. And then I looked directly into the sun again, almost immediately. Exactly the same thing. Did exactly the same thing. I was like, let me look away from the sun. Hey! I tried to hide that from my family and my wife because I was embarrassed. And I would have got away with it too. But then my wife was like, the kids want to play catch with you. And she was like, I'm over here. What are you doing? Did you look at the sun again? I did. And it's a little harder on that second Google search when you're like, what if I look in the sun twice in 10 minutes? Is that also very bad? But I was okay. The third time I looked directly into the sun was about 20 minutes later. This one was a little harder. I felt a little bit more ashamed. Although they say when you lose one sense, the others are enhanced. And I could hear my family's eyes rolling in the head. I could hear it. I could hear it very distinctly. And the fourth time I looked at the sun. Yeah, I looked at the sun 4 times. I did it. Just so you know, when you Google, is it okay if I looked in the sun 4 times in 20 minutes, what Google says is, are you sure you weren't just putting in, I'm an idiot? But I did. I honestly looked in the sun 4 times. But I managed to, it was okay. I got to see the eclipse, and it was fantastic. And I highly recommend it to anybody if you ever get a chance in your life to go see a total eclipse. It's amazing. You get to watch the moon swallow the god that is the sun, and you understand how amazing it is. But remember, what is the most important thing? Don't look in the sun. James Gunn. And hydrate. Thank you very much. I hope you all enjoy the rest.